Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
जल्दी यार बॉल कभी कनेक्ट होता है कभी डिस्कनेक्ट होता है अपने आप। तो नेट की दिक्कत तो नहीं है? नहीं फिर कनेक्ट हो जाती है बार बार।
Hello everyone. Dear participants, now you can ask your questions. Yes, Dharamveer, if you have any doubts, just let me know. Okay, before we get any questions, so few points in the forum we received about the exam type of questions. So already I have replied to there. Again, it will be of MCQ type questions. Good morning, Moshumi. Okay, thanks Gaurav for your question. Like so far the truss is concerned, there are different types of trusses that we have explained. In different sources, sometimes they also differ different kind of truss. Say for example, the queen post truss. In some of the books, they have shown in a traditional queen post truss, and also in some cases, like we get different variation. So in the slide mentioned, so also a source is given. So if you go by that source, it will be. But anyway, for just our understanding, let us just see. So normally for the king post truss, again it is a root truss, okay, and this vertical portion is called king post. So which will have a connection between the apex of this triangular truss, and it will actually bisect the span. Now compared to that, the queen, we have different variation. So in some of the books you find the queen truss is like this, where these queen posts, so we have two queen posts, they're not exactly connected to the apex or the this particular corner. Now in order to support, we have also a vertical strut like this. Now in some of the books you will find even the king post to support when the span is more, so we have another angular support like this. So probably these variations you may observe, and the book you have mentioned, Gaurav, this particular decasing, that illustration, you get a different variation. Okay, so in fundamentally, so for king post, we have the member, the king post, which will connect the base by basically it will bisect the span and it will connect to the top of the truss. Whereas the queen is relatively a smaller member which will not really bisect the span, and you may have multiple. So depending on the span, the members will actually you have to give additional members to get the equilibrium. I hope now things is little clear. So for this, please go through the links given there and try to just go through different documents to understand this particular part as well. Hello Moushumi, do you have any query regarding the course? Earlier we also got a reply from Sampath Kumar. Yes, the session is started. If you have any query, you can ask by typing in the chat box. Okay, before I get a new questions, also in the forum I found some query regarding the study material. So the PPT, the lectures that we have, basically these are a summarized form of the content, and in all of these lectures I have referred some sites, different books and also like each site will have some kind of source, and each of the end of each of these lectures also I have given some further study materials. So if you get those books or maybe the e-books, you can go through that to enhance the knowledge in the particular domain. And at the same time, a particular question was asked by one of the participants. The examples that I have cited in the lectures, whether that is adequate or for the exam you need to study more. So answering to this question, yes, even during the lectures also I have mentioned that due to some limitation of each lecture duration or some time duration, some constant, so only what I have given in the lectures, these are some picks out of many, and I have explained those examples to the best way possible, and also requested you to gather more examples so that you will have better vocabulary on that particular topic. Say for example, say ornamentation of structures or structure as ornament, though the examples or maybe these are little bit confusing, that we may cite the same example in both the category and all, but as I always try to say that yes, a structure, a building may have multiple structural systems, but looking at the predominancy of any particular structure, we just categorize them. So definitely which is more visible, which is more predominant, we'll just make a type, prototype, or name it like this, whether it is cell structure or it is a dome structures. A dome structure may be a combination of both, like load bearing and dome as a roof. So then, but if the dome is predominant, we can cite this example in that category. So it is always good that based on the understanding that whatever the outcome of the lectures, if you can just explore more examples or try to find it out, and if you have any doubt with certain examples, I do advise, please raise your question in the forum and put your findings, like if there is any doubt like this particular building, how to like really differentiate whether it is structure as architecture or it is ornamentation of structure. So you put your query there, and definitely I will help you with my teaching assistant to answer your query. So regarding another question raised in the forum about the use of the scale in architecture, yes, very important question. I should appreciate. This plays a crucial role. So probably in very first year of architecture, we not do study the fundamental of designs or the basic principles of design, and their scale is one of that component, where like it is along like the rhythm and then the balance. So scale will determine the feeling, that environment, and it has already played a crucial role in the history of architecture. So earlier we have seen the buildings and other things which were like the famous buildings that we cite in examples, like maybe the Parthenon in Greece or Pantheon in Rome or Colosseum in again Rome. So these are all monumental structures, the huge structures where you can compare them with a human scale is a very huge, and the feeling that is a vast space. But now again at the same time with the evolution and all, and also depending on the need of the human, like at the later stage, when we start developing the idea of high-rise buildings. So the need is one of the need is to give the basic accommodation to all the people. Due to urbanization, due to growth of people, and it is increasing, and it is monotonic increasing function, you may say, that growth of population, and due to that there is a huge demand of the houses, and probably for that reason, so per capita the usable space now it's optimized. And then definitely you must have studied different anthropometric data, different standards and codes where they recommend some kind of space for the bedroom or something. So we just scale down all those spaces and to have a habitable one. So there the scale really matters a lot. And at the same time there are other scales. So like if we can take example of some famous scale like the Fibonacci series scale, or maybe we can refer to the golden mean ratio, which has a huge application in some beautiful piece of architecture. We find this golden mean ratio in Taj Mahal in India, or not even Taj Mahal, even go back to the ancient Greece, in even the Parthenon they do have. So with the column and the capital, and then with the roof of that, will have this particular ratio. Even we find it in nature, different nest, we have different vegetables and all, like pineapple, they do have this ratio. So this scale will really play some crucial role to give a very good visual connection, and that will be visually appealing to the viewer. And after that also we have used different modular concept where the ratio, the breadth and width will have this. Even if we consider the root to ratio, then also it is giving some kind of square form. And when you multiplicative the small square and the big square, in recently in India for some Charles Courier design, say for example I can cite say city center in Salt Lake. So you will find this kind of use of the scale, the ratio scale there. So one is the scale down to the proportion of the human being, the other scale is the ratio scale that we can do. So golden mean can be one, Fibonacci series, that ratio can be taken up as a scale factor, and also the root to ratio, and there are many as well. There is a question from Mausami Modak. If you can kindly brief the question pattern for the final exam. As already I have mentioned initial this session, again I am repeating this. The question pattern will be again MCQ, multiple choice questions, almost similar to the assignment. And for the exams, already I have mentioned that along with all the examples given in each of these lectures in this course, you also have to search some more, and basic idea, if you go through those reference books and all, definitely it will be very much helpful to you. And already so far the progress is made by you all. uh, I'm really happy that many of you have scored really good marks in those assignments. So the end exam will also have the MCQ. There will be no descriptive, and it will be again online exams. I think I have answered to your question, Moshami. Okay. Sharmishta, good morning, Sharmishta. Your question is that some structures are complex and can be differentiated in not a single, can be differentiated in a single type, right? As just I have mentioned that some of the structure cannot be differentiated. It may consist of two different kind of structural elements, but at the same time the clue is looking at the predominancy of the structural system. So if a structure consists of say load bearing, and also as well as some portion of that is a dome structure or sail structure or pneumatic structures. So looking at the building, which will first we connect visually, looking at that predominancy will define it into that category. And for the exams, if two options are very close to each other, then what will happen? So hopefully this type of question will not be there. This is the case, and if you have multiple answers right, so any answer can give you the marks. But again, I'm saying that looking at the structure, looking at the building, if we can easily identify the structure which is predominant in nature, we can categorize into this category. Like say for example, if I consider Taj Mahal, now how will we give the name? So looking at the dome used, that is definitely we discussed that is a onion dome. So we can classify that dome, like dome of the Taj Mahal, as this. But what about other things? If I ask that whether it is frame structure or load bearing structure, so at that time their frame structure was not there. So again, it will come into the load bearing structure. But depending on the context, we have to judge it. And in by chance, if a question will come with this kind of dual answer or multiple answer, so any correct answer will give you full marks for sure. And I also request you, whoever not joined in the forum, and if you have some doubt but somehow you are not getting any platform to ask or clarify this, so today you can ask me as much as you can. And also, like, if you have any query, any question, even after this live session, please do post in the forum, and definitely me with my TA will get back to you as soon as possible with some kind of answer to your questions. Thank you, Sir Mishta, for taking part in this course. And again, you can ask multiple questions. There is no limitation. Today you can ask as many as you want. And in this course also, we have discussed many type of structural systems, and the idea behind creating this course already I have explained during that lecture. But again, like the basic idea to give some kind of insight of all these structures is to determine the best suitable or best possible structural systems which will fulfill our design need. Now that means we should not always take like normally in the architectural course when we get any design topic as a student, definitely we refer to different codes and standard, different anthropometric information to figure out the space. But after certain time we'll have certain limitation, like we only go with some very conventional frame structure or the beam column, etc. But at the same time, like what I hope that after studying this course, you'll have a better idea than before. So to pick up a different kind of structural system which will fit best. Suppose if you need some long span to cover, long area to cover without any column, so you have certain options, right? So you can go with the folded plate, we can go with the sail structure, etc., etc. So at the same time also you should also know the limitations, the disadvantage of each type of structures. So I sincerely advise you to study any structure, you should know where to apply it, where it will be little bit complex or there will be more disadvantage than the advantages, then probably will not pick up. So our design should not be restricted with a confined, very conventional structural system, and that's why I have discussed different type of structures and also show some applications starting from the residential building to the stadium and big gathering like the assembly hall, etc., etc. So definitely I hope that this will help you in your study. Okay, Harshini, welcome Harshini to the live session. Your question is which structure is more suitable between sail structure and pneumatic structures? Okay, yeah. So both just I mentioned that you can use this sail structure to create long span. Even sometimes for the gathering, you can also go for the pneumatic structures. But so far the stability is concerned, so stability will also depend on the geometric shape as well as the material. So sail structure will be more stable if we compare the similar kind of scale. And for pneumatic structures, as because like you have air as a media, so air supported inflated structure. So in that case you have certain limitation, you have to give some anchoring to the ground, because this structure is suitable for a gathering or maybe creating a convocation or any concert arrangement. You can easily go with. And the beauty in pneumatic structure is it is portable. The moment the function is over, you can again just make this air out, that the volume out, and you can fold it, you can transport it anytime. Whereas like for sail structure, it is permanent in nature, so we have to use suitable material like concrete, though the thickness is thin, but again with the geometric shape. The sail structure, take this point very critically, that sail structure will really sustain or will be stable depending on its geometric composition, the form that we support. We cannot arbitrarily create any shape and then we can go with this, because when we use the sail structure to make a habitable space, we have to take care of the safety of the people who will be using inside that. But comparing your sail structure and pneumatic structures, sail structure will be more stable because of its material, and which can be used even in a storm or wind prone area, where pneumatic structures will be a problematic thing. If there is a heavy wind outside, so maintaining the pressure balance is very critical, and that is why the sail structure is suggested. But at the same time, if your purpose is very temporary, like we have seen in Olympic that time, the Fuji Pavilion, or the examples I have given in that pneumatic structures. So these are all inflated structure where air is put into layers of the membrane, and then it is giving a temporary form, and which is good for temporal thing, but for permanent, any day the cell structure will be preferred. Okay, extending the same discussion, like whenever we think of whether to go with the frame structure, multiple story, or load bearing structure, so that will not only depend on only single criteria, the carrying out the load, because depending on the load, the live load and dead load, the structural engineer may give you the solution and design it, but the same load can be supported by different kind of structures. Now the point is, which one should we select? Now depending on all the materials and the technology, it will vary. Like there are n number of factors that we discussed in one particular lecture, the factors affecting the structural form, and then material plays crucial role, then technology, manpower, everything will play their role to just execute the right structure at the right place. But one of the important parameters out of that is the fund or the money. Now sometimes we find a very economical low cost solution, so probably for that we'll not move to some kind of very sophisticated structure, or will deviate from the conventional. Say for example, I only need a one-story building, and I don't have any plan in future also to expand it to make it multiple story. So probably we can just go with the load bearing structure. But the problem is, when you go with the load bearing structure, the thickness of the wall is quite more. So your foundation, then your wall, external walls and all, to carry the load, this thickness will be quite more than what we used for the frame structure. In frame structure, normally we erect the beam column, the skeletal structure, and the walling, that brickwork will be used. Okay, in some external part, definitely the thickness will be around the full size brick of 250 or 200, depending on the size available in that particular situation. But definitely for the interior partition, we can go with other like non-structural member, which is not really possible for the load bearing structures, where the wall itself will carry the load. So whenever you increase the thickness, the inside space, the carpet area will be compromised. Now where to make the trade-off, that is definitely a choice of the developer, of the user, and also it will depend on the designer. Now whenever you think that your space is very precious and you cannot really waste it by increasing the thickness of the wall, then you find something where bare minimum thickness of the wall, or the that protection from the outside environment can be taken up. So in some of the cases you might find the shopping malls and all, where there is hardly you get especially for the font front facade and all, any wall construction, this is simply the beam and column construction, and then you use the structural glazing of the glass. So where the thickness from 250 reduced to something 25 mm. So that is giving you another direction. And when you think of the multi-story building, then again the comparison will come, because when you make the foundation, then you think for the 10-story building or 40-story building, so you have certain limitations, because the moment you go for the high-rise building, along with your conventional load, dead load or live load, other things will be very critical, like the seismic load during any earthquake or any unusual settlement of the subsoil, or the wind load. Definitely we have discussed in couple of lectures that with the increase in height, the wind pressure will also increase tremendously. So for them, probably that typical frame structure even will not be sufficient to support. And then in the last 5 lectures, we actually discussed about that, the different type of structural systems for making things high rise. Then we bring the core structure, concrete core structure to certain height, and when again it will not be foolproof, then along with the core we also go for the bundle tube or maybe the outrigger structures and so on. So starting from a small hut to the wall skyscraper like your Burj Khalifa, depending on the need, depending on the availability of the technology, materials, and the fund, definitely will really determine the type of structure that we select. Sarmishta, your question is, yes, I have given further readings. I've referred a few of them. Are those available online? Some of the cases, yes, it is available online, or else like if you have access, like digital access to your library, considering suppose you are enlisted in any organization like institute, so you can get it. Okay, and there are some links available also, like you have to search little bit, they're available. And there are few like free architectural ebooks available in some of the sites. You can also search there to get if it is available or not. Normally these are very common books in architecture field, so the library must have a hard copy, or nowadays like most of the books are also available online. So any of that books, if you go through, it's good. You can get the idea, and like if you require any specific context or any particular topic to get some more material, just let me know in the forum, so that I can supplement something more in addition to the lectures PPT, because the PPTs are only made to just have a discussion the area, but for any thorough reading or further reading, if something is available and something is shareable, so I'll do that. And now also if you check the solutions for the assignment, where the due dates are over being uploaded, in that also I have tried to give some explanation for the answer. Not for all the questions, but wherever it is possible, I have given why that answer has been taken as a correct one, why not others. And whenever there is a very tight call, definitely, already what I mentioned, that looking at the context and particular predominancy of any structural system that can take place. Regarding the examples, different building examples and all, such more, and how to get those more examples, you can go by searching in Google, or randomly you can search, or else it's sometimes better that the link I have provided somewhere, you can follow up that link, you can just copy paste the URL to your browser and you can get some linked document. By that also you can get some more examples relevant to that. And in order to make it sure that whether your assumption is correct or not, if you have any doubt, any day you post it in forum, we'll get back to you if anything very confusing and all, and we'll be happy to really discuss that. And that's the purpose for the forum as well. And I thank all those users who have posted their query regarding the exam question type, or maybe some particular subject. So really I appreciate their effort, and we try to give them some kind of try to give them the answers, and I think that will actually make things clear and improve the clarity on a particular topic. Dear viewers, if you have any more query, you can ask. You can type the question in the chat box. I'll try to answer them. And there is no limitation on asking number of questions. You are free to ask any number of questions till you get the clarity to a particular query. If you have any more question, please ask.
क्लोज करें सर एडिट कर दें।
क्लोज कर दें।
हाँ, 1 आवर हो गया करना चाहते थे।
एक्चुअली पहले कुछ कनेक्शन नहीं हुआ था, तो कोई लेट ज्वाइन कर रहा है तो
इसे कोई बंदा वेट कर सकता है।
okay, who joined late in this live session, whatever we have discussed today, you can browse through the chat, and if you have any quick questions you can ask me. I'll try to answer those questions. So regarding the final exams, the question type will be also MCQ. And you have to, regarding the examples that I have given, you have to search little more. You can search some more examples and try to fit into the category. And if you have any confusion regarding doing so, please post your query, your confusion in the discussion forum, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible to give some clarity to your query. And regarding the reference books that I have referred, some of them are available online. Yes, you can go through that, or else in many cases I have given some reference to a document which is publicly available. You can do that, and if something is shareable, I'll share in the forum. So we are coming to an end of this live session. So if you have any quick questions, please ask. And again, I'm thanking you all to take part in this course, and also for your successful deliberation in terms of the assignment. Many of you have done extremely well in all those assignments and scored good marks. So thanks for your effort, and also good luck for the final exams.
सा बोल दीजिए.
Okay, so as there is no more questions, and definitely some of you may have some questions, and now also you have not posted here. So put your questions in the forum. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. So again, thank you for taking part in the live session, and go through all the materials that I have shared, go to each of the lectures, also review the solutions of the assignments, find some more examples into different category of structures, and prepare well for the final exam. And I wish you all very best for the final exam which is coming up. Thank you.